Parents should put more thought and consideration into their kids' names. I think it's honestly selfish and kind of upsetting to name your kid something goofy or unique. Nowadays, the name of your kid isn't your name. It's your kid's name. They have to live with that name. A unique name isn't even unique anymore. It's just stupid. Unique names used to be names of the month. Names based off of nature, rose, autumn, etc. And using names more common in the older days, Art, Dutch, Charles, etc. Unique names now are spins on names. Shit you'd find in a spice cabinet. Inanimate objects. Or just random words. I know people named Topher, Cage, Time, Haywood, Balcom, and Avon. What the actual fuck are you doing? Be normal. Name your kid something that makes sense. One of my kids goes to school with a kid named King. His brothers are named Legend, Champion, and Superstar. Seriously? I'm with you. My thing is using unique spellings. You set your kid up to have to correct people for the rest of their lives. Balcom? WTF. My kid goes to school with a kid named Ranch. Name her daughter Lizard, then give her the nickname Liz, and people will be like, oh, that's short for Elizabeth? And she'll be like, no, my name is Lizard. I know Haywood. Haywood Jablomi. Okay, Balcom is the worst one I've ever hear. My grandkids go to daycare with lad by the name of Roguetorious. It's a nod to a couple of chapters of one of the gangs that thinks they run this part of my country. It's also ridiculous. There is a kid at my child's daycare named Brophy. Expressionless the spelling. Aiden, Braden, Clayton, Hayden, Caden, Peyton, Ailey, Bailey, Brookley, Briley, Berkeley, Kylie, Riley, Kylie. It's stop. You know, I once heard of a kid named Jathan. Whenever I meet a girl named Unique, I laugh a little. Yes. Please, for the love of God, remember you're naming an adult that will have to put that on a resume, a business cards, etc. Test it out with doctor or honorable in front of it. Cute toddler names are often a terrible burden on the future adult. And cutesy, trendy, unique girl names will become stripper names. Whether she does or not. Signed, someone whose parents didn't and now has to use initials professionally. My uncle once told me about this girl who was named Ema. Her family name was Farmer. So her full name was Ema Farmer. I'm a farmer. There's a dude who named his kid this. Ichigo D. Jaeger Guts Kenpachi Cruz. Not gonna be surprised if the kid ends up going no contact minimal with his dad when he gets older. I saw a TikTok where someone said something along the lines of, remember, you're naming an adult, not a baby. Moon might be a cute name for a baby, but it's weird for a grown man at a job interview, and honestly, I live by that. Don't name your kids like they are pets because it doesn't sound good. Don't name them something nice but ended up nicknaming them a goofy word in most of their lifetime. My street has 7 kids named Hunter. I went to school with twins called Levi and Diesel. But the twist was Diesel wore Levi's and Levi wore Diesel clothing. Their surname wasn't exotic either. It was something right Scottish. Also, 2 brothers called John Luca and John Luigi. Again a Scottish surname. Someone asked them about Italian heritage. None. Both parents 100 Scottish. They thought the dad named them after his favorite Italian footballers of the time. Of recent, my mate has 2 sons called Caden and Jackson. I don't know how that's going to turn out for them. I just think of it as my kid has a weird name, but so will all her other classmates. My worst fear is her dating a Braden, Hayden, Jaden, Caden of some sort. And please think about initials. Until I got married, mine were BS. I learned in 3rd grade to always use all 3. It's a plague in my native country. Kids are named after video game anime characters, fictional characters. Naruto Uzumaki anime. Yasuo League of Legends. Fuck ton of kids named after GOT characters. To add to this, I wish people named their children adult names. Not cutesy baby names. You are a child for a very small portion of your life. You shouldn't have to be Dr. Mikensley Rain at 55 years old. Having a basic name can be nice. I once got another customer's rooster's order because it was under the same name as my own. I got 25 wings as opposed to the 10 I paid for. No kidding. If I told you my first name, you'd know it's me. It's that much of a weird name. I know of no other man with my first name. No one else has it. BALCOLMXD. Coming from the generation where 90% of girls were either Jennifer or Jessica, I say think about what you want to name them and run it by that one asshole friend you have to weed out the bad ideas. Knew a kid named Kaiser, but honestly that's pretty badass. Also be aware of the pressure you are putting on a kid. I know a dentist, super tiny dude and tiny wife, never played a sport, and exactly zero Scandinavian, named his son Thor. Like man, odds your kid is going to live up to the name are slim to none. I remember when my wife was a few months pregnant and we were trying to think of a name. One night I was watching the news and saw a child had died, maybe 3-5 years old, from neglect and abuse from his parents. It was so sad. And I just remember feeling so bad because that kid deserved better. At that moment I decided to name my son after him. Julian. This is the first time I've told anyone where I got his name from. Rip to the other Julian. R. Tragedy. This is not unpopular though. If you look at the Social Security Administration name lists, the most popular names are still quite traditional. I don't think a lot of parents have the amount of foresight they should have these days. People just name their kids so they get the maximum attention until the kid goes to school or otherwise is old enough to ship off to the daycare grandparents. Gaylord Fokker. I mostly agree, but you do know that Topher is just short for Christopher, right? I've seen some doozies being in the medical field. ABCDE. Emily pronounced E-money. Brownie lard. La Dynasty pronounced La Dynasty. Not Lady Nasty. Unique. I've seen this one more than once. ABCDE is still the most cringe name. Problem is who makes fun of the name. Then no problem. No name is weird. It's just not familiar. I'm an American white lady who moved to Hong Kong and hear all kinds of different names from Chinese friends, British, French, Japanese, whoever is here that I meet. No need to make fun of names that are different to them. Even if it's from a different race or socio-economic class from you in America. They have their own trends. I think if you give your child a unique name, you should at least give them a traditional, mainstream middle name. Our popular opinion. In Denmark, there's a list of approved names you can give your kid. If you want something else, you have to apply. I think it's reasonable to ensure that kids do not get a ridiculous name. To be fair, naming a kid after a spice herb is comparable to any of the flower names. I think thyme is a very tasteful name. OMG. I'm going to have to delete this account now. My first name is Patsy. Yes. I'm a man. Yes. It's my real name. And yes, it's on my birth certificate. Have a good day rolling on the floor laughing.